Ladies and gentlemen, please find your seats.
The main thing I took away from the seminar was that there exists a quite polarized view of Rwanda, where you have a celebratory view of Rwanda's development achievements on the one hand and some important questions regarding the political performance on the other.
I would say in many aspects Rwanda is our development cooperation is performing tremendously. When it comes to employment, the big reforms, huge results of what we are doing, and very strong engagement from the Rwandans.
Kagame delivers. He has delivered on education. He has delivered on health. He has given them security. He has made Rwanda a global destination for business.
I think the biggest also achievement is to reunite the Rwandans as a nation. We made tremendous achievements also when we talk about democracy and good governance in Rwanda. We are not there, or not yet where we also want to be, but it's a process.
We have rejected confrontational politics and we have embraced consensus politics. Consensus does not stop diversity. Consensus does not stop innovation in terms of political ideas. In the past, Rwanda has suffered from the politics of the winner takes it all.
The idea of consensus politics in Rwanda, as I understand it, relates to Rwanda's troubled history. In a functioning democracy, you would want a certain level of confrontation between different points of view in a political debate. So one central question for Rwanda's future is, how long can Rwanda be seen as a post-genocidal society where certain restraints on political expression is needed? As one of our keynote speakers demonstrated, one important question regarding the political governance in Rwanda becomes where the state ends and the freedom of the individual citizen begins.
Dr. Mori talked about how the government has intimacy relationship with the people, and she said that was, in her research, she found out that was one of the way of controlling people. So I agree with her that one way is that the government is near, is closer to the people, and the other way is one of the way the government is controlling people.
Rwanda has a very controlling and a very dominant state, which may account for some of its remarkable achievements, but the question is whether there's a trade-off between the performance of the state in terms of these development criteria and the freedom of the individual citizen to express their views.
There is no free press in Rwanda which can actually hold the government to account, and that doesn't make any difference to me if the media is not independent, if the media doesn't have the power to hold the government accountable. Whether they are 40, 50, 90, that means nothing to me so long as we don't have any media freedoms in Rwanda.
The thing is, it's not about quantity only. You could have many local channels, you could have many CSOs that are building schools, but you need the civil society organization that questions authority. And in many cases, those are the ones that have not grown, whereas you have many more CSO who are doing service delivery and other things like that, which is a good thing, of course. But you test freedom by challenging it, not by having quantity working within the frame that is allowed by the authorities. So that's where the big debate between us and our development partners is going on today.
Well, my newspaper was a critical newspaper that used to criticize the government on different issues. There was corruption, there was human rights abuse. They accused me of being an enemy of the state on national TV and radio. So I felt that to that point, my life was in danger. I had to flee the country.
We have a lot of discussions about human rights, and with SIDA and in the budget discussions we have human rights high on the agenda.
To have our president to be candidate for a third term, or to this move to change the constitution was on demand of the population.
President Kagame is not pushing to stay in office. The people of Rwanda, in the name of democracy, they have chosen to request him to continue, because if government first responsibility is to work for the people to develop them, then Rwandans have found an answer. Political systems are defined differently across the world. No one system can fit all. Here in Sweden you have a constitutional monarchy, like UK, Americans and the French have a different system.
The first mistake most of the people tend to do is to say it happened in other African countries, so it will happen in Rwanda and elsewhere.
The problem is you have seen many countries in Africa where good politicians have stayed a term too long, but relating to our support, what was the problem, I think, is that it was a very short debate. It was only like a week or so between the announcement of the referendum and the referendum as such. So again, it shows that the openness and the actors who are given opportunity to challenge proposals like that doesn't have that much freedom and room in Rwandan democracy.
It is a step backward as far as the Rwandan's journey to democracy is concerned, because we have now actually institutionalized Kagame's presidency, and the worry is that even these economic developments that we've been talking about will evaporate if they are not founded on genuine democracy.
Rwanda has 12 million people, but it's a shame to see that one person is considered as the only person. What if that person dies? What will happen?
I think that this meeting shows clearly that there's a lot of room for dialogue between people and actors with different points of view regarding Rwanda's future. Paul Kagame's leadership has, without a doubt, been remarkably successful, and he has achieved remarkable results for the country. For his legacy and for the future of the country, you would hope that he would also take responsibility for opening up the political system and making it less dependent on individuals and more reliable as a political structure.